That was the one and only Jazzy V. And now coming up is an iconic, incredible, soulful singer that I definitely want to get into and speak with her. Her name is Lisa Fischer. Many of y'all might know her from the song "How Can I Ease the Pain?" And she's a world-renowned artist who sing with so many different artists out in the world that we're going to talk about right now as she's coming up.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you and to talk to you.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all once again, iconic figure, incredible goddess, young lady who is here is Lisa Fischer. And I'm going to tell you a backstory, but I'm going to get to that. This young lady right here has given so much to so many, especially with that song that everybody can to this day listen to. And right now, if you put it back out again, I guarantee you people will eat it up, because when you wrote it, I guarantee you didn't know how many hearts, minds, and people that you touched with that actual track. I mean, How Can I Ease the Pain will forever be the song that people go to when they're breaking up. Or I'm dead serious. People, you know, ladies back in the day, you probably used to pop that on like 24/7. You definitely, I'm dead serious. Because it was a song that everybody could relate to when they were going through something. Now, when you actually, and once again, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this.
My pleasure.
But when you wrote that song, did you have any idea how much of a smash it would be?
I didn't have a clue. It was my first record deal at Elektra. I was working with Narada Michael Walden. He did a lot of, he's a producer, drummer, just amazing guy. And so we're working on the song, and the record company goes, yeah, we need some up-tempo songs. We need some up-tempo songs. And I'm like, I feel a ballad coming on. You know? I feel a real ballad coming on.
Wow.
And so we kept trying to write something up-tempo, and that was cool, but we kept coming back to this thing, and Narda would be behind the piano, and he would go, who can I ease the pain? Da 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 da, and that's all he had. Right? I was like, but I really like that. Can I work on that? And if I had not taken the initiative and said I really want to work on that, even though the record company was just like, we want an up-tempo song, I don't know how this would have turned out. I'm just really grateful.
Okay, I'm going to delve into you, and I'm not going to pick up my iPad. My hands are free, so this is not magic. This is the actual truth. This young lady, before she stepped out into the front of the microphone herself, had sang background for Luther Vandross, Tina Turner, Sting, has opened up and sang with the Rolling Stones. That's an incredible list, and I ain't even finished the list. I'm just giving you a few names of people that she's worked with in the interim of music. This is how incredible this young lady is. And then in 1991, this is the creme de la creme, the top of the top, the best of the best, the je ne sais quoi, as they say in French. Il parle français, oui, j'entends parler français, on peut parler français. But this young lady, her first time out in 1991, putting that song out, not only was she in the top 100 on the charts, top 200 on the hip-hop charts, but she won a Grammy her first time out solo. Drop the mic, walk away. All right.
Oof. Wow.
There's not many people who can say, I put out my first EP and I had a hit song and won a Grammy in the same year. What? How many people can say that? Not many.
You know, it was crazy. It's like, I just wasn't even thinking along those lines, if that makes any sense at all. I was just like, wait, got a record out, woo-hoo! And when my manager called and said, oh, you know, you got nominated. I was like, I was in shock. And I thought to myself, well, that's really beautiful to be nominated with all these amazing artists. It was like Gladys Knight and, oh God, Vanessa Williams, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight. I know I'm forgetting someone.
Hold up. Even if she forgot them, did you hear the
Patti
names that
LaBelle.
she...
Patti
Wait,
LaBelle.
did you hear the names that she just said? She won all over all those people. So that should tell y'all how many breakups went through, and then her song was playing on everybody's radio as they were breaking up that summer, that time, that she won a Grammy.
That was crazy. And the other thing that was really crazy was that Patti LaBelle and I tied. And you don't get very many ties in the Grammys. There's like a history of, if you go to their website, you can see the history of people that have tied in the Grammys. So it's just like, and Luther won the same year.
Hello.
I think Sounds of Blackness won the same year.
Right.
And I think, and I had also sang on the record that Patti won on. I'd sang background on it. So it was just like all these things were kind of just aligning, and it was just crazy, crazy, crazy.
I have an up-and-coming artist in here, an incredible singer herself. Her name is I Am Zena. She said, please save this live, because she wants me to make sure that I keep this, and I definitely ain't going to save this live. And I'm counting the minutes, so I know exactly where I have to, if I have to cut this off and turn this back on again.
Okay.
Because you don't understand the magnitude of who you are. And I know you know who you are, but I don't think you know who you are to people in the world sometimes, because you are an incredible force with your voice. You turn souls, as opposed to just people hearing a sound in their ears. There's a difference with the way you sing and touch people. And that's why I started off with the words goddess. That is beyond what a normal person can do to a person. That you're more or less a deity amongst singers, because of how you touch people and the way in which you move people with your words. Not everyone can do that. Yeah. And because of that is why I wanted to have you here today, because I ain't gonna tell you how many times I didn't play that song when I broke up. But that, listen, it happens. I never, listen, I must have broke my tape playing that song. I couldn't stop playing. It was like, and I can't sing, but I was like, how can I
come on,
ease the pain? Okay. And I looked at you, and you, of course, you were drop dead gorgeous.
Thank you.
And then I was like, this woman, this voice, damn, where's the world coming to? I need to ease my pain. Where is she? Okay, she's not here. All right, I'm gonna just play the song then. I'm gonna just play the song.
I tell you, when Narda was, pardon me, when Narda was recording it, he kept talking to me. He does a lot of meditations and different things like that. And he kept giving me these affirmations as I was recording it. He's like, okay, for this line, I need you to do blah, 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 blah. He's like, I can feel this is going to be blah, 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 blah. I was just like, okay. So I was just kind of, I really have him to thank for capturing the recording.
Well, that moment, that sound, that every layer, entendre, every emotion was placed in that song. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a person that could say, nah, I ain't never listened. You know how many people, listen, I was at my regular job today, talking to people, and I was like, Lisa Fischer's on the job. Listen, are you listening to me? Hello? Because of the fact that I was sitting there going, you know, if you go back through your career, you go back through the amount of things that you accomplished, you know, singing with some of the most incredible, iconic artists themselves, and then to create your own lane. You know, I know some people who literally in this industry sing background forever. Never step in the forefront, never take that leap. You did, and the first time out, Grammy. Now, not to take away, also, you won a Soul Train Award
I
in that same year.
I couldn't
Listen,
believe it. I was just like,
no iPad, just hands. And I memorized this stuff because of the fact that I'm going, how many people can say not only in the same year did she step out and win one award on one show, she stepped into another show and said, hey, thank you, I appreciate that.
oh my God. I couldn't believe it. You know, I mean, and I know people think I'm crazy, but I just, you know, I'm grateful when beautiful things happen, but I just never expect them, if that makes sense. So I'm just glad to be in the room. You know what I mean? I'm just so glad to be breathing air. I'm glad to be able to make sound. I'm glad to look into your eyes. Speaking of that, how would you like for me to address you?
I'm Mac 357 on the
Is
show.
that okay?
Yes.
Mac 357. But sometimes I hear you say something prior to Mac. Is it War Mac?
No, I go, once again, it's your boy Mac 357.
Once again, it's your
Boy.
boy.
Mac 357.
Okay. Because, you know, it falls off of your lips so fast I didn't get a chance to take it in. See, so now I know. Thanks.
Listen, I ain't blushing for no reason, people. But she is an incredible, incredible woman. What is it about when you started to formulate your art, when you started to put the music out that you wanted for people to know about you? Now, was the music coming directly from your heart or experiences?
I think it was a combination, especially with How Can I Ease the Pain? And I also had the disease, the background singer kind of disease, my own, not all. But for me, it was kind of like I'm used to getting a task and someone says, okay, I need you to sing this here and do that there and blah, blah, blah. And then you do the task, you pull back your bow and you hit the target. And so when someone actually asks my opinion about something, it's like, I have 1,000,001 thoughts about it. And so to try to put that into a song that makes sense for the human being's consumption is a whole nother concept. So that's why I kind of needed to have, I had a great A&R woman named Carol Childs. I had a wonderful woman that was helping me with songs, Carol Ware, who was the wife of Leon Ware, who wrote music for Marvin Gaye. And so I had all these beautiful souls around. My manager, Daniel Marcus, he was wonderful. Just everyone. They were just so helpful with trying to get me to figure out what do I want to do. And for example, something as small as when I went out to dinner with Narda and I told him, it's like, I want to eat Japanese food, you know. And so we go and we have some sushi and they pour the sake into this like cup and they have these gold leaves, little teeny leaves in them. We're sipping, we're talking. And he was like, those experiences, that meal helped make the sound of that record.
Wow.
It was Louis Biancanello who was with us, and he worked on the track. And he just created this beautiful bed of sound. And once I got done with the lyric, it took me about 2 weeks to kind of get through the lyric. And once I got it done, I brought it to Narda and we went back to Tarpan Music. And he made a couple of little suggestions and we fixed them. And then it was more about how to make the culmination of that night of having sushi and talking about heartbreak and talking about business and talking about love and life and laughter and just all the things that are electric in your life, to put those things into the record in something smaller than a second and then threading those seconds together to create a performance. It was a beautiful lesson for me.
Well, shout out to all the people that are here. Just to let you know, you have people tuning in from Argentina. You have people tuning in from all different parts of the world who wanted to shout you out and definitely show you love at this moment. Okay, so for everybody that's writing questions, I will try to read your questions. I'm blind as a bat, so if you don't make them big enough, I'm not leaning into the screen to read it because I'm definitely not gonna know what you're talking about. I'm be like, yeah, they said something, and
You're the
okay,
cutest blind bat we ever saw.
I appreciate that. Now, moving forward, when you finally, settle into the accolades and receive the awards, what was your what was your move? Like, okay, am I gonna go out on tour? Am I gonna facilitate to go further into making another? I'm gonna go back and make another album. I'm gonna back this up next to the next one that I currently have. What was the next?
It was complicated because it was the next thought was to do another record. There was a lot of upheaval going on at the record company. There was changes, and Bob Krasnow left, and Elektra became WEA, Warner Elektra Atlantic. God, what else is going on? I was trying to. The thing is, once you win a Grammy, there's no check that comes with it, so you still have to go out and work. So, and I only had one song, really, that people knew to tour from, and I couldn't do a tour at that time off of one song. At least that's what people were suggesting. They're like, it's better to have 2 records and tour. So I was just like, so I was in this weird place. So much happened. It took me too long to record a second record. And I think the other thing that happens is, the first time you're out, nobody kind of knows what you're going to do.
Right.
And so there's a certain kind of freedom to that. But once you've done whatever the it is, people expect you to be that it forever. Right? And so, or if you're not that thing that you were before, they kind of want to bring you into whatever is happening now as opposed to the freedom that you had when you first started,
Wow.
And so it was just complicated to me. All I wanted to do was find a song that resonated with me. I didn't know what a good or bad song was. I just knew I needed to communicate. I needed to sing through a story. I wanted to storytell melodically. That's all I cared about. And so I ended up switching to another record company. Then that record company decided not to sign me, and then I had no deal. So then I was like, okay, that was interesting. I think I'll just go back to background singing now. Thanks very much. It's been great. I love you all.
Okay. So
I was done.
with that being the case, there's a couple of questions that are on the table. One is, people want to know, are you going to do a versus, like you versus someone else? Second, they want to know when you're doing a live concert. And third, someone asked, what do you currently have out in the market?
Okay. The first one was Versus. I saw, was it Erykah Badu and Jill Scott? Did they do Versus?
Yes.
I am in that caliber of and weight of artist as far as like success. I'm like a one-hit wonder, right? And so I don't have a huge catalog of songs to sit and go back and forth. I mean, if it were with other background singers, that might be an interesting thing. Background singers who have had like a single, and then go back and forth and talk about the records that you sang background on and talk about those artists. I think that would be interesting. But I haven't gotten an offer to do that yet, but maybe I will, who knows? What was the second one?
The second one was, what concerts do you currently have coming up?
I had due to COVID, things have been like, woo! So everybody's trying to figure out how to share music in a safe way. And so I've been sitting home trying to figure out, GarageBand and Logic Pro. And I have my little guitar in the corner. I've been doing my lessons. And, oh, God, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I dropped it in the bed. Anyway, So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to do stuff virtually. The other thought I had was doing an outdoor concert where people are either within their cars or so well distanced or in little bubbles or something where people just come out and lay on the grass and just listen to music and be safe,
Well,
that kind of thing.
you say that there are comic series. Shout out to Talent the Comedian. Shout out to
Oh,
a lot of the comedians that are currently out that are currently doing parking lot comedy series.
mm,
So you say that, but there are people who are saying, "Hey, you want to still social distance, but you want to still get your laugh on,
yeah,
your music or whatever the case is." So they
yeah,
are doing that type of. You just got to find a venue that has a big enough parking lot, charge XYZ to get in. And then,
yeah.
the other one is somebody asks, "Are you obrigado Brazil?" I see that you're here in the building.
Obrigado.
Are you planning to or have you been approached by Unsung to do an unsung version for yourself?
I don't think I have been, no.
Unsung is, of course, a TV show that highlights people in their careers, and some of
Yeah,
them good, some of them,
yeah.
well, the criminal element has reached the TV.
You know, the one I saw that I loved, and she's a friend of mine, is with them, Tuatha Ag, Mtume.
And wow, okay, juicy. Okay.
Ciao. You know very well. Oh, God. No, don't even get me started. I love her. Oh, come on. Sing it.
Oh
Come on.
no.
Come on. We can do a duet.
All these 100 and some odd people will be going off this live as I start singing. But what is it that you want at the end of the day for people to understand about who Lisa Fischer is?
Wow. That I am constantly changing. Like the whole world is changing. The whole universe is changing. How we grow. We're not, our cells are different every 3 to 4 months. Everything about us is changing. And we sort of need the mental permission and space to be allowed to grow, and be allowed to morph into our purposes. And so I've been really lucky. The shows and stuff that I have been doing or had been doing prior to pre-COVID, I've been allowed to experiment and play and be a little bit of who I was, because I'll never be, 30 in a size 8 again. But I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm
So am
loving.
I.
Aww, Daddy. But it's really about accepting and loving ourselves. And I'm kind of in that space right now. Sometimes I'll get like crazy messages. I like you better with your long hair. Oh, you've gotten too fat. Oh, the this and the that. Oh, you remind me of I can't even, I mean, there was a million one things, but I just go, okay. It's interesting because this time in our history with social media, the comfort of sharing your thoughts and opinions are very different than sharing them in the flesh, right? So when you share them in the flesh, there's a different kind of reverence, there's a different kind
Right.
of respect and boundary. But these finger things and thoughts don't seem to know what they are. Sometimes folks will be like, I'm just like, what world am I reading?
Right.
What am I reading? And I'm just so old fashioned. I'm sort of kind of like, I was brought up in the church, and there's certain, there's certain protocol and respect, a way to address people, even if you don't agree. There's just a certain way to approach people and to respect them. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell this quick story. I was dealing with somebody today, and then, I'm jovial. I'm a
Yeah.
happy person,
Yes.
and because I was jovial, this person had an attitude. Yeah,
Please stop.
I mean, like whatever they were on
Mm,
was just like
mm,
extra for no reason. You know, somebody asks you a question and they're smiling when they say it.
Mm.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. How am I being sarcastic when I'm smiling or I'm
Right.
happy? My
Yeah.
bad. I'm sorry. Let me turn it in. Let me not be happy.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
But the reason why I said that is because of the fact that everybody wants you to be something except for who you are. Listen, God
Mm.
made you in the image that you are in. No one should try to change that image. If God
Right.
wanted to change, he would have put it in your path for you to change.
Yeah.
People don't understand that where you are, what you're doing, where you currently are at is where you're supposed to be, unless he sends a miraculous sign that you're supposed to be someplace else. Like,
Fire.
you know, fire and
Storm.
brimstone, like the earth is moving. Okay, it's time to go. Got someplace. He's telling me I
Yeah.
can't be here no more. But
Corona.
right,
You're right.
right. Um,
Oof. That's
is
been
there
crazy.
something that we have to look forward to? You have any upcoming music that we can facilitate, that we can hear, or that we are? Um,
Um, Louis Vega. Do you know the DJ Louis Vega?
of course.
Oh, of course. Okay, you do. So I did a session for him recently, and there's a song called Star of a Story. And it's a remake of a song. And I had the best time doing that. And so he has a new project that's coming out, and that song will be featured with many others. I just love working with him because it's kind of like a little family, very much how Luther used to work. Um, Singers that I love, Cindy Mizell, and
Listen, I shouldn't be in this business if I didn't know who Louis Vega was.
right,
Um,
right.
Louis Vega has, once again, those iconic DJs. I've had DJ SNS on this show. I've had Funk Master
Mm.
Flex on this show. I had Cool DJ Red Alert on this show. I had DJ Chuck Chill Out on this show. I had Emmy Award winning actors. I go in depth to the people who are the matriarchs of this type of music and generation. And I try to bridge this gap. Listen, I have young people on here all the time where they're talking about their music and whatever the case is, and
Yeah,
they're vibing and doing the stuff that they do.
yeah,
But I also like to show them the people who came before them
yeah.
that gave them the opportunities that they currently have, because of they laid that foundation.
Mm.
And when people such as yourself are available to talk and to share your spirit with the world, it's something that we need to hear, because a lot of people haven't understood what it is that they're supposed to. Like right now, I hear R&B and I'm like, I'm a fan of R&B. Like R&B moves me. Like it is the thing that drives me. I listen to this stuff now and it's like, what the hell is this? Why are they cursing? Let me rip your drawers off and put Xanax in your drink. It's like, what is this? We That's called rape, brother. That's not music. You talking about raping people? This is the wrong. We need to. Somebody needs to help this brother out, because they don't understand what it is to do music that touches the soul, that takes you on a journey, that gives you a purpose to feel something. Not, excuse me, come here, girl, let me beat you. It's like, what? Why you want to harm a sister? Can you
Well,
talk to the sisters?
it's interesting because there's a lot of stuff that I like that people go, you like that, you like that, but there's realms, there's areas, there's mirrors, right? There's what was versus what's coming versus we right here right now, and a lot of it is sort of like a microscope into the thinking of what's going on in our worlds, right? And so when you see certain things, it gives you an idea of what people are going through, of what people are experiencing. I have, some family members who are young, and it's okay for folks to call them out of their name. They're comfortable with that, you
Right,
know.
right.
And I I it's difficult for me because I wasn't born in that time. So when I see that, I say to myself, how can I make them feel?
How can I ease the pain?
Yes. And make you feel better
That's
about
right.
yourself, you
Right.
know? Yeah. Yeah.
This is gonna be 5 minutes, and this is about ready to go off. So, like I told you, I'm
Oh,
watching the
sorry.
time.
Okay.
What? No. Don't do that. I have another guest that's coming on, and he is for the 8 o'clock slot. But
Yes.
I'm gonna tell him when he hops on his live. I'm gonna have to push you back for a few, because what it is for me is, I don't delve into people's fame. When I see celebrities, I shake their hands, and they look at me crazy because I'm not going, you know who you are? I'm not that guy. What it is for me is the spirit that a person has that speaks to me is why I am as elated to have you here today. When I'm watching your Instagram page, I'm reading about you, you're hearing some of the greatest things in the world. Oh, and somebody asked this question earlier, and I just want to make sure I put it in there.
Okay.
Have you worked on any of the Rolling Stone songs, or sing on any of the tracks that they have out?
Yeah. When the first year, Steel Wheels record, did background with Sarah Dash, you know,
Wow.
Sarah Dash,
Yes.
and Bernard Fowler from the Peach Boys.
Wow.
He was there before me. Yeah. So we did a couple. Most of it though are live records, you know, because what happens with the Stones, at least for me, is they've had the beautiful opportunity to be able to have that photograph in time of their music that was inspired by blues, American music, and make it their own, bring it out in the forefront in a different way. Now it's grown up, and it's what, I don't know, 40, 50 years, 60 years, or whatever it is.
Wow.
And the music is literally through live performances grown up and morphed and changed with them. And to be a part of that fabric is such a blessing, to be a witness to that, because I'm watching a sea of people with their grandchildren, their children, you know. It makes you want to cry. It's just so beautiful. It brings together all these lives in a musical way, because usually it's always very separate. You know, it's like, oh, that's my grandmother's music, or that's, you know what I mean? So it's beautiful to see them all rocking.
This is what I'm talking about. Somebody's in the live saying, I don't understand a word you're saying, because apparently they don't speak English. They said, I love just looking at you. You are making my spirit very happy. So this is what I mean by transcending the normal process. Okay, this is getting ready to shut off, but I'm going to bring you right back. Everybody that's in this live, come right back. Lisa Fischer, part 2 is coming up. We're going to have her back in a few minutes, and I'm going to just post this one, and then I'm going to come right back. So everybody that's in this live, all 100 and some odd people, all 1,000, however many of y'all in here, come on back. Once again, it's WordMac 357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show, 5 to 7 every Thursday. But for a few weeks, we're going to be 7 to 9 until 5 to 7 come back. But we're working it out. Working with a brother. All right. We're going to be right back. Lisa Fischer, this is incredible. Let's go. Let's get it. Hey. All right. Once again, it's your boy Mac 357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show, 5 to 7 every Thursday. It goes down. We are here. We are live. We're about to be lit again. The one and only Lisa Fischer. Hopefully, will be joining us back in a few moments. This is an incredible, incredible woman that has touched the hearts and minds of many throughout the time that she's been in the industry. She's an incredible artist. She is fire. She is everything. And I'm going to try to bring her back. And yes. Okay. Once again, it's your boy Mac 357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show. 7 to 9 on Thursdays. We are here. The incredible Lisa Fischer is back in the building. What it is for me is the fact that you are quintessentially, you waiting for me to faint? Not in this lifetime. Um, I'm as cool as a cucumber, sweetheart. I never get nervous. And the reason why I tell people that is because if you're always prepared, you don't have anything to worry about. If you're underprepared, you're gonna be like, your voice is gonna be a little bit shaky, you're gonna be a little bit rocky, and you ain't gonna be able to hold it together. But my next question to you is, has any of the people that you work with, like Sting or anybody, ever said to you, Lisa, I want you to work on a song, and you didn't, and it was a major hit that you could have been on?
No, I've never had that. Usually what happens is I'll be called in. There's a gentleman named Bob Saden that did a beautiful Winters album for Sting. It was called If on a Winter's Night. And it was just gorgeous, and it was particular. And it had different textures and different things going on. And so I would just kind of come in and listen and really be sensitive to the work that's happening in the room beyond the words, you know, and try not to take up too much space in the room, so that whatever way that they communicate and they can work out what it is they want me to do, we just get in the room and we do it. And you make the space, the spiritual space, for the magic and the music to happen, and the conversation, because we were sitting. Usually I stand when I'm singing, but Sting was sitting, and I was like, okay, so I'm in. So I'm sitting, and they set up the mics, and it was almost as though he was by himself with his own
Wow.
thoughts, you know. And so I didn't even want to speak. I didn't even want to. It felt holy. It felt holy, like he was having his own personal conversation with God or something, you know. And so he would kind of get in his place, and I would listen to what I needed to sing, and then we'd sing in unison together and sing different things together. And it was just, I felt like I was flying on his shoulders. If we had no bodies, I felt like I was sort of maybe in the water and we're flowing together. You know, I don't know, that sounds crazy, but the experience of singing with people like that is just unforgettable.
I've heard about Sting and his process for singing. He says he vibrates at a different emotional level. When it comes to him, it's almost cathartic, or almost like a release of energy when he sings. It's not a process where he's trying to, okay, I'm here, I know I can sing, let me sing it like I'm supposed to sing it. No, he literally becomes melodic in his, or as it resonates inside of him.
Yeah. And he's such a hard worker. I mean, there was one point where we were in Italy at his home, and we were prepping to do this record, and I would wake up in the mornings with the sound of him playing his guitar downstairs in the courtyard, and I go, wow, he still practices. He still practices with everything that he's accomplished in his life. He doesn't, in my soul, he doesn't take it for granted. It's like he enjoys the work. Or, for example, if we were at a rehearsal one day, and there's, the orchestra and the singers and everybody and the show people and the whole production, and everybody's taking a break, he's always the first to come back. And if he plays something and he makes what most humans would call a mistake, he doesn't even flinch. It's a part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the dance, And so when I saw that, because I'm always so hard on myself, it's like, oh my God, I made a mistake. Oh my God, oh my God. But he was just like, note taken, note taken.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'll take that and and live on that. It was a beautiful lesson to sing.
Okay, before these people beat me up, I'm gonna definitely ask some of these questions.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
So they want to know where your inspiration comes from for your music, and do you have any designs on a current album or anything that you're gonna bring out soon down the pipe?
Inspiration.
And if you do have any inspirations, who are they? Like, who did you listen to that put you in the mindset to sing yourself?
Wow. My parents sang, my grandparents, my grandma. There was always music in the house, so that I think was my first groove, my first thing. My dad was with a group called the Cupids, and they had a song called, two songs. Your Dog Likes My Dog. It was a doo-wop song, and the other one was called The Answer to Your Prayer. So there was always rehearsing and music going on. But my parents gave me their Motown record collection, the 45s. Remember the little disc in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Snap it in and you get it, and then, get on the.
Listen, I play young on TV, but in real life, I'm a lot older.
So it's just like, he may not remember this. You're not 60 yet. So, but yeah, man, it was all Motown stuff. And, the first record I bought, the first album I bought was Rags to Rufus, Rufus and Chaka Khan. It was like, Chaka Khan! It was like so many. Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, but I couldn't sleep at all last night. Bobby Lewis, the Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, all that kind of stuff. I listened to AM and FM radio. I listened to it so much that I would get to the point where I could tell the difference between the AM stations and the FM stations, because the FM stations played everything a hair slower, and so the pitch would be different even if they played the same song. Right? The AM stations would play it a little chippier, a little faster, and so now that I'm older and I'm listening to Hertz and A440 versus A432, all that kind of stuff, I'm realizing it means something to me. You feel something. It's like the way that someone speaks to you over the phone, you can tell if they really want to be helpful or if they're just like, can I help you? You know what I mean? You feel like you want to jump in the phone and help them.
Wow. This person, Francisco Arroyo, I'm going to probably say your name wrong. Sorry about that. Lisa, I saw you with the Stones in 1990, 95, 98, 2003, and 2006.
Wow.
I guess he likes the Stones and you. All right.
I don't have perfect pitch. Some people say I do have perfect pitch, but I tend to, different people have different thoughts about what's perfect pitch, right? So some people can name a note and you don't know how they're naming the notes. There are other people where I know for me, it's in my body for me. Like I can tell if I start to sing a song that it's not the right key. It's like, no, that's not right, that's right. And then all of a sudden it settles in like a vibration, and then I go, oh, this is it.
Listen.
Yeah.
When you take the opportunity, when you get off this live, I want you to go look in the mirror. Yeah. That's the perfect pitch.
Oh.
Another question in here was, how was it working with Luther Vandross?
Oh. Heaven. And I tear up thinking about it because I miss him so much. I was literally talking about him today. He was and is the most giving, amazing, warm, intelligent, funny. He cared about the music and his audience so much to the point where it hurt. He cared about every little detail, the lights in the ceiling, the beads on our dresses. If there was a string hanging off, it was just like, we rehearsed to the point of ad nauseum, to the point where you're like, I know this already, I know this already, I know this already. You had to know it beyond knowing it. You had to live in it. You had to, we rehearsed it until we lived in it. So by the time we hit the stage, it wouldn't matter if the house was on fire. We knew exactly what we were going to do, where our head was going to be, literally. I mean,
Wow.
head positions where in the scope outside of your body, the notes, how we ride together melodically and harmonically together. It was just, I could go on and on. It was amazing to work with him. He was a great teacher, great loyalist. He was just so loving and loyal to the people that he loved and worked with. And just, I miss him. I miss him.
God bless. How was it working with Mick Jagger? Because the Rolling Stones, the name actually fit, because 99% of the time, there was a few of them that were really stoned. Some of them, but they never missed a concert. They always made their shows. I don't know how they sounded some of the time, but, you know, them background, you know, they didn't play the track under their voices, you know. But how was it working with Mick Jagger? Because I heard he was a diva himself. So not being, I don't know how he was as, you know, a stage presence or whatever the case is, if he was a perfectionist himself. But from what I hear, he liked to have fun. They all did. But what was it? How was it being around him?
For me, I think I was lucky because I met him at a beautiful time. I met them all at a beautiful time where the Stones had gotten back together, right? So they had all this history, right? By the time I got in, their parents, their husbands, their, you know, it's a different kind of responsibility. And so I got to witness some really beautiful moments. Mick is funny. He's mischievous. He's light on his feet. He's you never know what he's going to do or how he's going to move. On stage, he's like an invisible fire, and then all of a sudden, poof, he's like there, and then the next minute he's somewhere else. And following him, being supporting of him so that he can be that free person that everyone has paid to see.
Correct.
Along with the band and how they mold together. And Keith, the way he just, and he's just, you know, he's like a lion. And just Ronnie and Charlie, all of them, they just, you know, they're all so different and such individuals, but when they come together, they're greater beyond their individual selves as musicians. You know, I think, you know, they all also have their own solo things and they're all beautiful, but there's something else that happens when the four of them get together in a room. Yeah.
Magic is you know, this is one band I can honestly say, you know, besides the Beatles, that have literally, you know, some of them being from England or whatever the case is, literally has left their mark on this world. There'll never be another band like the Rolling Stones. It's like there'll never be another Lisa Fischer. You have touched so many. You have given so much musically to this world. Like I said, to this day, your song fits, you know, with this pandemic going on. You know, a lot of people can listen to, because they broke up with their baby mama during COVID.
You did not just go there.
Yes. Yes, it happened. I'm telling everybody who out there, listen to Lisa Fischer, because you're going down in COVID.
Oh my God.
You ain't got a mask for that. But anyway, listen. I want people to understand that you have given to this world, from behind the scenes, in the forefront, so much music, so much incredible work that it's not even funny. And that's why all these people are here. Now, I wish that I could say that they're here to see me,
They
but
are.
no, they're here to see this legendary singer that's sitting before me, and rightfully so. You've
Us. Yes.
created such a buzz because of the fact that you've touched so many. You've given so much to this world. It's astounding that your spirit has touched so many. You've resonated with so many. I've never seen so many people follow my page, and it's like there are, and like I tell people, if they go back and look at every part of my page, you'll see a famous person. You'll see me standing next to Fabio Foreign, which is one of the new kids out there, G Herbo and different other people, Power 105, DJ Self. You know, you'll see me with a lot of different people. But the funniest thing is the fact that I've never seen the frequent flyer miles on people following me because they knew you would come to the show. Now that you're here, don't leave because I want y'all to stay. Mrs. Fisher's not gonna be with me every week, but just know that this is a great show, so keep coming back.
Yeah, I love some of the. I was looking at the guests and different people. It's really beautiful. Really beautiful.
You see me with Cole from Martin. You see me with John Hinton, who used to play Overton Wakefield Jones on Living Single. You'll see me next to, there's a lot of people I've interviewed. The interviews are up on my YouTube page and a lot of different places. But that's why I tell people who I like, your management and your publicists and different people, go look at who I've had. Don't just go, well, his numbers ain't as big as it. I'm not worrying about numbers. Look at the people. Look at the caliber of people that have been on this show. And I'm just a small little French fry. I'm a fat French fry. Okay, listen.
You know what?
I'm a fat French fry.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that.
But I try to bring the most incredible people here because the world has been touched by them. And I like to give flowers while people are on this side of the earth.
You better come on. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Because when you think I'm joking when I say that, I'm telling you, you were probably in 1991, when that song came out, the person that either saved or helped somebody through a broken relationship. Because you were the quintessential person. Your voice, the melodicness, the sound, the vibrations, the feelings, the emotions. And still to this day, hearing you, all of the different things that you've done out in the world, with music, concerts, doing jazz, you've touched so many. But my next question is, and I'm going to ask this, is somebody asked this earlier, are you thinking about doing any film or TV or anything of that nature? And if you have, what have you done and where they can find some of that stuff?
Oh, wow. I haven't been asked to do TV yet. I think when I was younger and thinner. No, I haven't really been asked to do that kind of thing. The only film I've ever really been involved with was the 20 Feet from Stardom film, documentary. And I was grateful to be a part of that, Wow. We'll see what the future brings. I mean, the world is so different now for so many people that we're all trying to, get past the fears of what was and look forward to the possibilities of what's coming, right? So I'm open. I'm open for change, and I'm open for purpose, right? So we'll see what comes.
Wow. Somebody said that actual documentary won an Oscar. Just to let you know, and you being a part of it, of course, I understand why now. Can you, and I'm asking this, and hopefully the gods are smiling on me today. Can you give us a little something? Musically? And Listen, Instagram, don't you cut me off, because she can sing whatever she wants. This is free music. This is a free country. Just to let y'all know. All right.
Ooh, Mac. Ooh, Mac. I had a good time, Mac, talking with ya. Woo! I hope I can come back.
Anytime.
Continue talking with ya.
Anytime. Anytime. Listen, you have an open invitation to come to this show. Anytime.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you want to impart to us for any up and coming singer? Like I said, I Am Zena's in here. Jazzy V's been in here. All the up and coming singers that are in here currently that are listening to the words that you're spouting upon us. Is there anything that you can leave with them that will that you can impart to them that as they're going in their careers, something that will help them to reach that pinnacle?
I would say the most important thing is when you get that inspiration of truth that comes on you, is to allow it to live outside of you. Allow it to, don't be afraid of it. You know, it's sometimes it's difficult to, sometimes it's scary to follow the voices, you know, but I find that they tend to be guides, and you really should follow them as much as you can and try to be as brave as you can. You know, it's difficult, but yeah, and just, you know, always try to be in a place where you know your purpose.
Is there, if you could tell us whatever social media that you have, where they can find you?
Well, I'm here on Instagram Live with you. I'm on Facebook, Lisa Fischer.
I followed you there too, just to let you know.
Do? Thank you. And on Twitter, Lisa Fischer Sing. And I have my own little website, which should be, the new site should be up soon. It's lisafischermusic.com.
This is once again the incredible, the incomparable, the most beautiful woman to grace this small show. And I want to tell you how astounded I am to have such an iconic figure for music grace this show. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your spirit. I appreciate the kindness that you bring to this world. And more we need things such as this to help us to survive in these times. You know, we need words of encouragement. We need strength. We need hope. We need spirit. We need kindness. We need love. And as the Bible says, the greatest of all these things is love. And you definitely exude the love of music, of spirit, of hope, in the words that you say. So thank you for being here today. Now, everybody that's in here, don't all of a sudden leave because Lisa Fischer's leaving. I want y'all to stay because the brother got one more guest. Hopefully he's here. Maybe I don't know if hopefully he showed up. That's Sean Khan that's here. And Lisa, stay in live, meaning stay in the group.
I'm going to watch.
This incredible young lady has been here today, and I appreciate her being a part of this show. And I appreciate you. Once again, thank you. And listen, as I tell people, this is your home. At any given time, any project, anything that you're putting out that you want to speak on and speak to, please show up. I will definitely, at any given time, you just tap in, whether you go through your publicist or you just hit me. Okay. I will definitely answer. And I definitely, you think I'm joking. Last night, and I'm going to tell this little quick story.
Come on.
Last night, I turned around. I haven't been to work in probably about 3 months. Now, I work for a major corporation, and the fact is, you know, I've been working from home. So they physically had us come in. And I ain't never felt so many pains in my life because it's been 3 months since I had to do what I've been doing.
Okay.
No lie, no lie. What perked me up last night, I was in so much pain, it wasn't funny, but what perked me up was you. When she hit me, I thought it was like Memorex or somebody. I like, somebody punking me. Where's Ashley Kutcher at? She punking me.
I didn't think anybody would answer. I was like,
oh, listen.
Yeah.
I am my secretary. I am my publicist. I am my go-to person. I'm my secretary. I'm everybody.
That's all right.
No. And the reason why is because I'm so much of a perfectionist myself. I can't leave it to anybody else. So that's why. It's not that, you know,
yeah,
people haven't offered or volunteered. It's just the fact that I'm like, yeah, you did that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it like this, though.
I understand.
But with that being the case, and then I saw Lisa, I was like, that's her? Okay. Let me write back. But, and I appreciate your candor, the love, the respect that you've had in the industry. And if there's anybody, I mean, superstardom. I don't care if you got to call up Patti LaBelle and be like, listen, Patti, there's a show you got to come on, girl. Listen, Patti, bring the pies, because I like to eat. But tell them the one thing that this person will do is celebrate you.
Yeah.
He will speak to you.
Yeah.
He will talk about the things that you've done. He will celebrate you with all of the happiness and joy that a person should have for people who've done such great things. I'm telling you, come on this show. It's called the Evening Experience. You know why he called it that? Because it's in the evening and you experience him. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how the name came about. Yeah, that's literally how it came. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. That's how it worked out. I'll say
it's beautiful.
We're gonna do this in the evening, and you're gonna experience us. Yeah, that sounds good. We're gonna work with that. Yeah. But once again, thank you, for being here.
Thank you.
And you have an open invitation at any given time. Come on back.
Thank you so much. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll be watching the next part with you. Yay.
Hey. Once again, this is Lisa Fischer. This is your boy Mac 357. This is the Evening Experience. Now, Sean Connor, hopefully he's here somewhere, and all these people, because he's our next guest.